We're unlocking generation, but if the power can't move, the system breaks. South Africa's grid is the next frontier in the energy transition. Development of the grid is vital if South Africa wants to meet its IRP commitments and roll out clean, green energy on a large scale. Only 23% of electricity currently comes from renewable sources, with government targeting 50% by 2035.
And this absolutely leads us to the need to execute the Transmission Development Plan, which states that we need to add 1,400 kilometers of transmission lines each year for the next decade. Corresponding to this is that we are adding 80 kilometers annually as a country. We are also aware of the limitations faced by National Treasury in providing fiscal guarantees. Therefore, increased private sector involvement is required to manage risks and implement innovative financing to expand and strengthen the grid.
The public-private partnership that government is pursuing by launching the Infrastructure Transmission Projects Program is certainly the right approach, because we need private capital to be mobilized at a large scale to modernize the grid. Almost 390 billion is needed over the next decade to upgrade the transmission network, and Eskom would not be able to procure funding at these levels. We would also expect learnings from REAP to be brought through into the ITP.
And as a bank that funds energy projects under public and private procurement programs, Nedbank is actively engaging with DFIs, the government and its advisors to provide the commercial banking view on what the credit guarantee vehicle should look like. We have dedicated product teams with decades of experience in banking PPP projects, innovative funding structures, and we have the correct systems and support structures within the bank to provide funding assistance during all stages of the process. The unbundling of Eskom has long been part of SA's reform agenda, and admittedly, it has been moving slowly. A key desired outcome of the unbundling will be the creation of an independent transmission operator. The mandate of an ITO is to bolster competition and ensure the fair treatment of all generators in terms of dispatch and connection to the grid.
Also within the ITO lies the grid planning function of Eskom, which is envisioned to enable efficient flows of capital for transmission expansions to support the high resource areas in the Cape regions. So the private sector has played a role in funding the build-out of transmission lines and substations to unlock grid in certain regions. But investors can only take on the spend so long as it makes commercial and financial sense to do so. Eskom and NERSA just approved congestion curtailment regulations, which involves curtailing certain projects in the Eastern and the Western Cape.
What we expect to see is that the curtailment will lead to more renewable energy projects coming online in those regions, at least in the short term.
It certainly is inspirational to see how the sector has transformed in recent years, with women taking up leadership positions across all stakeholders, being developers, banks, and advisors. It is a proud moment to be a part of this group of women who are playing a part in transforming the energy sector and building the South African economy.
I couldn't have put it differently, Tereshni. I'm both inspired and motivated to do more, not only to showcase that women can and are doing it, but also to play a role in supporting the transitioning. At Nedbank CIB, we're not just financing energy, we're helping build the system that moves it.